Things between Kirk Frost and Rasheeda have taken a serious turn, and fans are going wild over the drama. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, Kirk shocked everyone by openly denying that Rasheeda's baby is his. He's standing firm on his claim, saying the child doesn't belong to him. What's more surprising is that he's not keeping his doubts to himself. He's making public statements and pulling away from Rasheeda in a very clear and painful way. Rumors had been going around for a while that Rasheeda may have been involved with someone else, and those whispers quickly turned into loud speculation. But no one really thought Kirk would react like this. Now he's not only questioning her loyalty, he's putting everything out there for the world to see, causing chaos within their family and among their supporters. So how did it get this far? Did Rasheeda admit something, or is Kirk looking for a way to walk away? There's been shouting, blame, and plenty of emotion, and things are clearly falling apart fast. In their home, tension had been building for weeks, but that night everything came crashing down. Kirk sat stiffly on the edge of the couch, arms crossed, jaw tight, and eyes fixed on Rasheeda with disbelief. The silence between them was full of judgment and unspoken thoughts. Rasheeda tried to talk to him, to reason with him, but he wasn't budging. "Why are you looking at me like that?" she snapped, her voice shaking with frustration. She was exhausted from trying to keep things together. But instead of softening, Kirk gave a cold laugh that made her stomach drop. He seemed like a completely different person, colder, distant, not the man she once knew. "Now you want to talk about family?" he shot back, his anger rising. "You've been keeping secrets and I'm supposed to act like nothing's wrong? I can't do that." Rasheeda's heart pounded. She knew exactly what he was referring to, the rumors about her being with another man. She had tried everything to fix the damage, to calm things down, but the rumors just kept spreading. And Kirk had already made up his mind. His trust was broken, and nothing she said was getting through to him. "You can say whatever you want," he continued, his voice cold and steady. "But that baby isn't mine." Those words hit her like a punch to the chest. She couldn't speak for a moment. It was hard to believe he'd say something like that after everything they'd been through, after all the times she forgave him for cheating. Now he was turning it all around on her. "How could you even say that?" she finally managed, her voice cracking with disbelief. "How dare you?" But Kirk wasn't done. "I dare because I'm tired of feeling like a fool. I know what's going on. I see how you act, sneaking around, taking calls when you think I'm not paying attention. You want me to believe this baby is mine when I know something's off." Rasheeda's body trembled with rage. This was the same man who had cheated on her, the same man she had forgiven over and over, and now he was accusing her of doing the same. The double standard was unbearable. "What proof do you have, Kirk?" she shouted. "You're just assuming things because people are gossiping." He rubbed his face, clearly drained but not backing down. "A man can feel when something ain't right. And this ain't right." Rasheeda's eyes burned with tears, but she refused to cry in front of him. She had always been the strong one, the one holding the pieces together when everything was falling apart. "I can't believe you," she said quietly. "After all the times I stood by you, after all your mistakes, now you want to throw me under the bus and act like I'm the liar?" Kirk didn't respond right away. He just stared at her, face unreadable. Then came the most painful blow yet. "I never questioned the other kids," he said flatly. "But this one's not mine." That was the final straw. Rasheeda snapped. She grabbed a nearby pillow and threw it at him with all the anger she'd been holding in. "You don't deserve me," she screamed. "You don't deserve this family." He didn't flinch. "Maybe I don't," he muttered. The room went silent, both of them breathing heavily, both standing at a cliff's edge with no idea how to step back. The love they once had felt far away, like a memory from another life. And then, without warning, Kirk said something that hit even harder. "I want a paternity test. Until I get those results, I'm not claiming anything." Rasheeda's breath caught in her throat. He was serious. After everything, he still didn't believe her. "Kirk, you can't be serious," she whispered, shaken. Her whole world felt like it was collapsing. She had always feared that his doubt would destroy them. But now it was actually happening. She turned away, trying to hold herself together, but she could feel his eyes on her. Everything they had built was falling apart and she couldn't stop it. After a long silence, she faced him again. You really want to go there, Kirk? After all the dirt you've done, you're the one questioning me? Kirk ran his hands over his face, frustrated. This isn't about the past, Rasheeda. This is about now. And right now, I have real doubts. Her fists clenched. I had doubts too when you had a whole child behind my back. But I didn't walk away. I stayed because I believed in us. And this is how you repay me? Kirk shook his head. Don't act like I didn't pay for that. You've reminded me every day. You stayed, but you never let it go. Now that the shoe's on the other foot, you can't handle it. Tears welled in her eyes. No, Kirk. This isn't about me not handling it. This is about you never really trusting me. You still see me as the same girl from back in the day, but I've grown. I changed. I just made the mistake of thinking you did too. Kirk scoffed, brushing his hand over his beard. And maybe I made the mistake thinking you'd always keep it real. Rasheeda laughed bitterly. You want real? The real issue isn't this baby. The real issue is you've been waiting for an excuse to walk away. Scrappy leaned back, arms crossed. I hear you, he said, but ask yourself, if you're wrong, are you ready to face the fallout? Kirk didn't reply. Deep down, he knew the answer. If he was wrong, if he had doubted Rasheeda without cause, he could lose. Her for good. The day of the test came quicker than they expected. The car ride to the clinic was quiet, both of them stuck in their thoughts. Rasheeda stared out the window, arms folded tight. Kirk sat beside her, foot tapping nervously against the floor. As they pulled into the parking lot, Rasheeda broke the silence. Last chance to back out. Her voice was calm, but her eyes held fire. Kirk shook his head. No, we're doing this. They walked in, the silence between them growing heavier. No matter what the results said, they both knew things wouldn't go back to how they were. Inside the clinic, the cold air and strong smell of disinfectant only added to the tension. Rasheeda sat stiffly, arms crossed, her fingernails pressing into her skin. Kirk was beside her, leg bouncing, jaw tight. The nurse finally called their names. Rasheeda stood first, her movements sharp. Kirk followed a few steps behind, like he didn't want to get too close. In a small room, a doctor greeted them. He was older, with a kind but professional face. He looked at them like he already understood what they were going through. You're here for a paternity test? He asked, keeping his tone neutral. Yeah, Kirk said, voice rough. We need answers. Rasheeda didn't speak. She just exhaled through her nose and looked away. The doctor nodded and slipped on gloves. We'll do cheek swabs from both of you and take a sample from the baby. Results will be ready in a few days. Rasheeda's jaw tightened. A few more days of this nightmare. A few more nights lying beside someone who didn't trust her. The test itself was quick. The doctor labeled everything and told them results would be rushed. Then it was done. But the emotional weight? That would stay. The drive home was just as quiet. Rasheeda looked out the window, her reflection looking just as worn out as she felt. Kirk gripped the wheel so tightly his knuckles turned white, as though, soon as they parked, Rasheeda couldn't hold back anymore. You better hope you're right, she said quietly. Her voice was low, but every word cut deep. Kirk sighed, rubbing his temple. Rasheeda, no, she snapped, turning to him. You made your choice. You chose to doubt me. So now, if you were wrong... She laughed bitterly. We're done. Kirk flinched like he'd been hit. Don't say that. I'm not saying anything, Kirk, she replied, slamming the door behind her. You already did. The following days were tense. Rasheeda barely spoke to him. She kept to the baby's room or their bedroom, whispering gentle promises to the baby while staying distant from Kirk. He felt like a stranger in his own home. Guilt was eating at him, but the doubt still crept in. He went to the studio to clear his head, but peace was nowhere to be found. Stevie noticed right away. Man, what are you doing? He asked, leaning on the mixing board. A paternity test on your own wife? Kirk rubbed his face, exhausted. You don't understand. Nah, I do, Stevie snapped. You're acting like Rasheeda's just some random girl. She's your wife, she's had your back forever, and you're treating her like a stranger? Kirk clenched his jaw. I just had to be sure. Yeah? And what if the results say you were wrong? You ready for that? Stevie's words hung heavy in the air. Kirk didn't respond. Because he wasn't sure. Rasheeda was dealing with her own storm. She'd kept quiet, hoping to handle things privately. But Carly had a loud mouth. Within days, it was all over social media. Kirk doubting Rasheeda's baby. The backlash was instant. Rasheeda read comment after comment, her stomach in knots. People were furious. They called out Kirk for disrespecting his wife like that. Kirk Frost is trending, and not in a good way. The anger online was intense. Supporters who once stood by Kirk now dragged him through the mud. Even close friends spoke up. Bambi didn't hold back on FaceTime. I don't know why you're still there, Rasheeda. This isn't love. This is humiliation. Carly Red, who usually loved drama, shocked everyone by taking Rasheeda's side. Kirk's out here embarrassing you again. I thought we were past this. Even Scrappy, Kirk's boy, called him. You really did this to the mother of your kids? By the time the results were ready, everything had fallen apart. The night before the call, Rasheeda stood in their bedroom doorway. You ruined us, she said quietly. Kirk looked up, unsure what to say. I don't even know if I can look. At you the same, she whispered. Baby, listen. She wiped away a tear and laughed bitterly. Now I'm baby? Don't play that game now. He moved toward her, but she stepped back. Don't, she warned. You made this choice. Now you have to live with it. The next morning, they sat at the kitchen table. The phone between them felt like a bomb waiting to go off. Kirk answered, his throat dry. The voice on the other end was calm. We have your results. You are the biological father. Silence. Rasheeda stared at him, face unreadable. The call ended. She leaned back and whispered, You happy now? Kirk tried to speak but couldn't. He had been wrong. Completely. Rasheeda stood. You broke us, and I don't think we can ever go back. Kirk felt something inside him break. He had just lost the one thing that mattered most. She hadn't lied. She hadn't betrayed him. And now she couldn't even look at him without pain in her eyes. She turned and walked upstairs, slow and tired. Kirk didn't follow. He knew he had no right. He had caused this, and now he had to live with it.